When you know that you are queer, but your favorite drink is beer, that's gayish. You can bottom without stopping, but you can't stand going shopping, that's gayish. Oh, gayish, you're probably gayish. Well, life's just too short for narrow stereotypes, so it's gayish. We're also gayish. It's Gayish with Mike and Kyle.
Hello, everyone in the podcast universe. This is Gayish.
The podcast that doesn't even have a joke here because it is too excited celebrating the monumental, historic, exciting, relieving, deep breath of sigh-worthy historic moment that we just experienced. Our 200th episode.
Yeah, right. Yay! It's our bicentennial. It's our bisexual centennial.
Hello. We are entering a new era of bisexuality for this show. It's now called Bias.
Yeah. I'm Mike Johnson.
Oh, that sounds like bias. Oh, that's poignant. I'm Kyle Getz.
And we're here to bridge the gap between sexuality and actuality. And happy birthday, Kyle.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Wait, no, it's not our birthday. Happy... We've done this a long fucking time.
Yeah, happy lots of numbers.
Happy fuck.
This is our 200th episode.
Our 200th episode.
The haters said we wouldn't make it here.
Yeah.
But no one cared enough to provide any adversarial.
To be fair, I was one of the haters. I did not think that we were going to make it this far.
I know, yeah.
Welcome to our 200th episode extravaganza.
Yeah, it is the reunion special.
The reunion special.
That is the theme that you will see throughout.
Yeah, that's why we did reality TV last week, right? Because we're going to do that thing that reality TV shows do, where they get like contestants from season 2 to come
yes.
make an appearance.
Yeah. So we're gonna both answer questions relating to reunions, maybe talk a little bit about just high school reunions in general, and we are going to play clips from previous guests talking about their experience with high school reunions.
Yay.
So you'll hear some familiar voices.
Yay. And as per usual, every 50 episodes, we do Q's and A's. Mm-hmm. You send us Q's. We A them. That doesn't stop being funny to me, Kyle.
Same. Every time I'm totes down with that.
And this time we asked you all to send us in questions that you might ask us at a high school reunion. And y'all have delivered. So that to look forward to.
We've got many interpretations, which I'm excited about.
We have announcements.
We have some announcements, exciting things happening over here at the Gayish Wonderland.
Yep. Right out of the gate. Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Mike.
I have a surprise for you.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Dan. Can you please videotape this?
Oh, yeah.
I think that this is something that the kids somewhere are going to want to see. Are you ready?
Yeah, I just got real nervous.
Great.
Oh, wait. Oh, God.
In honor of our 200th episode, I thought, what better thing to do than to make a flag?
Oh, wait. It just now started actually recording.
Well, fine. Great. For our 200th episode, I decided to make a flag.
Okay.
I made a flag.
Okay.
I'm going to show it to you now.
Okay.
And if you are trying to figure out how to deal with election anxiety and nervousness, just find a really tedious hobby. It's fantastic. But for our 200th episode, I made, especially for you, a flag out of individual servings of Nutella.
Oh my God. This is...
I was going to see if it would sit on the table. It won't sit on the table.
This is adorable.
Happy 200th, Kyle.
Oh my God. I'm just going to go into the corner and slippity slop on all these guys.
Also, because I'm a crazy person, it's exactly 200 cups of Nutella.
Of course. Oh my God, Mike, this is incredible.
Yep.
This is only for me, right?
You
don't get... Okay.
Because they only come in cases of 120, there's 40 more sitting back in my room if you want them.
Those are the, as I come over to your place throughout the year.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep. Happy 200th, Kyle.
I'm hungry. I almost wore my Nutella gear that you gave me at one point. Okay, then...
Ta-da!
As long as you're doing that,
okay, great.
Hold on.
Sure.
Keep videoing.
Sure. Oh, man. Hi, everyone. How's it going? Happy 200th episode to me. Oh, man.
Mike, I got you this present.
Aww. It has hearts on it.
It wasn't the one
Doesn't
of
that
the
mean
left.
game over in your social media world?
Yes, but it was definitely one of the only leftover bags I had that we're using.
That's sweet.
And I care or something.
Aww.
There's a card in there too.
Aww. What Jesus Said About Homosexuality by Brian Headshaw. It's a lot bigger than I thought it would be since he didn't say a fucking thing about it. Great. It is an empty book. That's fantastic.
Well, it says something.
Every page says absolutely nothing.
No,
That's,
it says quote.
yeah. In parentheses, absolutely nothing. That's fantastic. Thank you.
You did so good at just like teeing it up like that's weird because he said nothing.
Mike, thank you for being an amazing podcasting partner, friend, and most importantly, person willing to figure out our tax stuff. I'm excited to see where this takes us, and I can't wait for 100 more episodes with you. Not a single episode more. No, 100 more episodes with you, though I'm tired just writing that. Heart, Kyle. P.S. Lyle says, read this aloud to our listeners to see our authentic relationship. God, fooling them yet again. Thank you. That's very sweet.
Yeah. You can't eat it. I mean, you can do what you want, but
It's fine.
okay.
Let's see who eats it first. Hooray.
Okay. But first, I don't think we're allowed to say, oh, yeah, you can stop recording, Dan.
My arms are getting tired.
Oh.
Here's your wine back.
Thank you.
In the way.
I don't think we can say but first when we're this deep in.
Yeah.
Another thing different.
Yeah, we're up to the balls at this point.
I wanted to provide an update
Sure.
from our election shrinkage. We talked about our predictions.
Oh, yeah.
And
Okay. I posted that ridiculous map.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to you, I think I said to you, I hope I said to you, I'm making Ohio blue because they're always right.
Mm-hmm.
So if we consider that one, it doesn't count. The only one I'm wrong about so far is Florida, which I'm super wrong, but I got in every other state that has been called correct so far.
Well, the good news is I didn't count that way, so I win.
Great.
The actual number of Biden electoral votes was 290. I projected 333, and you projected 354.
Yeah, it's going to be 306 when it's all said and done.
I would still win.
Yeah, that's true. Price is Right rules for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did think about for a moment, like, going through the states and figuring out how many that were wrong and their electoral college votes worth. And then I was like, that seems like a lot of work when I can just compare three numbers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's what
that's
it's
true.
based on.
I projected 308.
Wow. But we're still all over, so that means whoever voted one electoral college vote gets it by Price is Right rules.
Oh, yeah. Should I also do Patreon members?
Let's do Patreon members.
You're not doing news this week
No news this week.
because it's all celebratory.
Yep.
And a little masturbatory.
And I think we all need a little break from the news. I don't know about y'all, but my ass still hurts from watching 48 hours of cable news in a row.
Yeah. Although I have already forgotten all the information I learned. Like, I think Manitoba County was important somehow, but now I forget where or why. Okay. Thank you to Patreon members. Paul Rosenberg, Colton Hadamham.
Oh, I know that bitch.
You do?
Yeah.
Hi. Well, I'm going to... Now I don't want Paul to feel left out. I know him.
Mm.
I don't. Maybe we should meet, so I break tragically. I'm saying the right thing.
Colton is the hot spooky boy from Montana that made us read Black Flamingo.
Hot spooky boy?
Mm-hmm.
Dan?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Hi, Colton, then, I guess. Daniel Larson, Brie Larson's son.
Okay.
Sentinel Bait.
Sentinel Bait.
What does that make you think of?
Discord, where his dick is?
Is it right?
Yeah.
Sentinel for X-Men. I was like, wait, that feels like X-Men. And he was like, that's correct. Like the Sentinels. And Kate D.
Kate D.
Not to be confused with Katie.
Yeah.
Kate D. So thank
Kate
you.
D.
Thank you to our Patreon members. If you want bonus content and shit, you can go to podcast.com/the Patreon.
Patreon.com/Gayish
podcast.
Yep.
And we are going to have some updates, exciting updates, I think, to our Patreon benefits.
Yeah.
At some point.
Later.
You have to
earn it by listening to our A's now.
Oh yeah. Should we get into it
Let's
now?
get
Should
into
we
it.
stop holding back?
Yep.
Can I do the first question?
You already did. You just did.
Your turn. Fuck you, Mike. Okay. This is what we have. We asked our listeners to send us in questions, related to a high school reunion or what you'd ask us at a high school reunion. So we do have a lot of listeners' questions. I wanted to just start off, though, with my own question that I want to ask, because I presume it is what people ask at every single high school reunion is, what would your answer be to what have you been up to since high school?
Oh.
I mean, isn't that just the GOAT? Isn't that like the thing you say to you're like, hi, now do this.
Yeah. Coding and divorces.
Oh, got it. Not dying and having to be revived by Meredith Grey.
Oh, not just
coding.
my soul.
Would you? Okay, this is a key difference between us.
Yeah.
Is that you tend to just say true things about yourself, regardless of if social
or
norms.
if anybody cares.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I'll be gotten better at.
Am I an
in this
oversharer?
Yes.
Oh. But like by normal person standards and
Yes.
not by yours?
Well, no, by both, for sure. Okay. But I think you're closer to a real person than me.
Okay.
I can
Not by Price is Right rules.
Right, exactly. There are some times where I'm just like, maybe that thing is not I don't know.
It's not COVID.
I've learned to, great. I've learned to support people's different approaches to handling things, but sometimes you make me real uncomfortable with what you share.
Good.
And it's not, God, and it's not even about me. It's like,
yeah. I mean, I think we're not supposed to be heavy and psychological on this episode, Kyle. What the fuck? All right. So I sometimes wonder if that is just as defensive, and I mean that in the therapeutic and the psychological sense, if that's just as defensive as the person that shows nothing.
Like, in what? How is that defensive?
It's like if I expose everything, I don't have to have the discomfort of hiding anything.
And it's almost like when you make fun of yourself so that bullies can't make fun of you, you're like, I'm already owning this thing, so you can't out me about, I mean, not gay, but like about my divorces, because I already said it to you.
Yeah. And if like sometimes I don't know. Like I wonder if I should have more shame about things sometimes, because I don't see a lot of people being the way I am. And especially gay people who I think have learned to hide themselves really effectively.
Hello. That is something that I was honestly thinking about, completely unrelated to Gayish, because on occasion I think about things that are not Gayish related.
You don't have a life outside.
That's true. I was thinking about it. That's where, like, sometimes I want to tell people, like, I was not thinking about this episode and reflecting on myself. I have been thinking a lot about how much work it's weird. This is not a new revelation, but it's just like, it's a lot of work to pretend not to be gay. So that's not a new revelation, but like, things that I've learned from that expand far beyond that. Like, so many secrets or things that I don't reveal to people, or the shame I feel about things, keeping things in, is just like bigger than being gay. Just so everything about me, it's just so much work. And I've, potentially overshared on this podcast, but like, it's a big relief to like, now I talk to my parents about depression. Yeah. And it's so nice not to have to like think about who did I tell this thing to, or who, So that is something you've absolutely helped me with.
Oh, you're welcome.
thing is like, I don't think I would talk about being gay unless it came up. Like if someone was like, what have you been up to? I don't think I mean, that's a huge thing that has happened since then, but I don't think I'd be like, so.
Okay. What have you been up to? And is that not the biggest thing?
For sure. The biggest thing. Also still wouldn't bring it up.
Okay.
And, I mean, I would probably say like went to UT, worked in digital marketing. I wouldn't mention the podcast. I do like, this is like one of those things right now that I'm like been really struggling with of I'm unemployed. I don't have a boyfriend. And yeah, I mean, we all have to, but like, you know, staying home a lot. I feel having an answer to that question of what are you doing is like a big source of anxiety and discomfort because I feel like I have to present something interesting and compelling and exciting. And the interesting, compelling stuff, there's still this residue of like, I always was embarrassed that I wanted to be a writer or I liked writing. And finally I got over that like 10 years ago. And that's been great because then I could pursue it. But like, I still feel weird telling people that because I'm not like, fuck. I am a writer because I've published written work. So
this is, oh God. Okay. This is gushy or whatever. And we've said to each other, at least privately, like this show is the most important thing that I've ever done, and I know that you feel the same way.
Except that like, one super jack porn star that I fucked in college. Man, that was a good thing I've done.
Well, it's the second best thing that you've done in your life, and we have tens of listeners, which Dan hates when I say that. And
fine 20s,
yeah. But like, you are proud of this.
Yeah.
So what does it say that you wouldn't tell people about it?
That I suck at, I feel uncomfortable about talking about myself and and what feels to me like self-promotion.
Great.
Got it. Next. Yeah. Would you bring up anything about being gay?
Yeah. I mean, it's, yes. I mean, I'm super duper out. And
that's the good thing about being at a smaller place. Like for me, like I have maybe like 800 people in my graduating class. So like some people might stay up to date on like what I'm up to on Facebook. And that's like, I would hope that they just knew I was gay from Facebook. So I don't have to do the whole rigmarole, the fagamarole. Yeah. But I feel like in a smaller school, it's more likely that they would just know.
Yeah, I'm sure they just know. And it's also a super duper small town that like news travels fast and all of that. And I took my wife to my 10-year reunion.
Oh, fuck, yo.
And everybody, like, we did that whole thing.
Yeah.
And then Trevor left the month before my 20-year reunion. And I was totally prepared to take him to my 20th reunion and be out and married to a dude. And I was very much ready to do that. That was the plan.
Were you excited about that? Like actively excited to bring him?
Kind of. Yeah. In a fucked up way.
Why?
I hope they're uncomfortable and they have to deal with some shit.
Oh, I don't think that's a fucked up way. I think that's like I think there's something empowering about putting, in spite of all the things that I just said literally minutes ago, there's something empowering about putting yourself out there in that way, in an unabashed, like, I don't give a fuck what you think. So I think that's it.
But then I did not.
But then it didn't work.
I didn't want to go alone and have to deal with questions of where's your wife, much less where's your husband.
Yeah.
Or look like a failure. I did not want to be the unhappy single fag. And that was, so I didn't go. I didn't go to my 20-year reunion, and I don't regret it.
Yeah.
Have you gone to any of yours?
No.
Screw the listener questions, Kyle. I'm asking the questions now.
No, I didn't go. I mean, I've had the opportunity to go to one at 10
years. Yeah, they usually go 10 and 20. Some places it's different, but they usually go 10 and 20, and you're not old enough to have your 20, so you've only had the opportunity for one, and you didn't do it.
Yeah. No, and it was one of those things where I'm really good at, I think it's tricking myself. Like I get the invite, and I'm like, oh, I'll figure that out later, and I keep doing that, and putting it off or pushing it back in my mind, that then I was like, oh, it's tomorrow. I can't, get home in that time. So can't go. Problem solved. Because I didn't want to go and it was going to be really felt uncomfortable. I don't feel, there's a part of me that's like going to prom or like going to your grandpa's funeral. Like you should probably do that. That's probably an experience you should have. So like part of me thinks if I went, but the other part of me thinks that no, I would just have hated it and I would have just wanted to leave the entire time.
I do think you have absolutely nobody to answer to but yourself in terms of if you want to go because you think that it would be fun and you're looking forward to catching up with people, then great, do it. And if it's like you give zero fucks, I don't think you should feel bad about that.
But okay, this is what's difficult about having social anxiety is I always have to ask myself, like, I don't want to go to anything.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever go to any event or anywhere.
Yeah.
So sometimes I have to be like, but is that a realistic thing or should I push myself to go? And this was, you're probably right that this was so extreme of me feeling so much anxiety about the idea of walking in alone and looking at this big room. Like that's hard for me to do when I have a big group of my friends, much less randos that I haven't talked to in fuckity all years. So yeah, I should probably just be okay with the fact that I didn't go to mine.
Yeah. I do want to go to make sure that I'm the hottest.
Okay, well, that's part of it is like in a group of 800 people, I will not be the hottest. And I wasn't the hottest in high school. I'm not the hottest now. So then I'll just feel bad about myself for lots of reasons. I'd find the handful of people that didn't get fat and be like, oh, fuck them. I shouldn't have gotten fat.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a listener question?
Yeah, let's do a listener question.
Okay. You do one.
This one comes to us from our Discord server, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
Which I am presently starting.
Engaged in actively reading.
This one comes to us from Hidden from Discord.
Gonna go ahead and cross that one off my list.
Oh.
No, this is what we said we're going to like compile our... That's good because it means we both were interested in it.
Who do you owe an apology to? And would you find them and do it?
Yeah. I mean, the thing in my head that comes back to haunt me, like, there's like... I always think about a lot of terrible things that I did in it, like, have that cringy moment in my head. Around high school, there is a consistent thing that always comes back in my head and always has and probably always will is... there was a girl in our throughout junior high and high school that like everyone didn't like because she was just weird and I don't know, we thought she was annoying. In retrospect, like now I know she's probably going to be the most interesting person today. We were just like, you're different and weird and don't understand you. And so once with two other guys, she missed one of our classes and we lied to her and told her that our homework was you have to define these 3 words that are on our vocabulary list. You have to write sentences about all of them or something. Not like, so then she did that homework, but like the next day she turned it into the teacher. Like we didn't think through the here's my homework. Why are you giving me this? You didn't have homework. These people told me. Like, there was just a stupid, I don't know. It was just like in the moment she asked if we had homework and then I don't remember if I went along with it or was a active, it was not my idea. I think I think that just reflected I want to be included in these people. And I think we're supposed to be mean to that person. And I don't want to stand up to anyone or be assertive or I want to be a dude. I feel shitty about that. I would not apologize. I don't think just because I would be too.
Yeah, it's a 2-part question, Kyle.
I don't think that'd just be. I don't know. That'd be so weird to walk up and be like, remember that time I guess so. It is now about how I feel about the thing I did. But hi, do you remember that time I made you do homework? Sorry. I don't know. It just feels weird to me.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh God.
Ooh. Oh, also that kid I murdered. That maybe I should apologize to his family finally.
Me.
Nah.
I'm okay. So when I read that question, or when you ask me that question, I immediately think, is there anything after all these years I still feel bad about? Because that needs clearing, I think. And the answer is no. Like,
There's nothing you feel bad about that you did in high school, like today?
I mean, I did bad things. So I can think like, what should I feel bad about? And then like dig stuff up. But there's no like lingering, I feel bad about this thing I replayed over and over in my head. Like there's nothing like that. And it's because I'm dead inside.
I was that. How? Just nothing.
Nothing.
Oh my God.
At least nothing that's weighing on me. Like if it's like there are things that maybe I would feel differently if somebody like reminded me that they happened, or that like I don't know, read my journal or something. I didn't keep a journal in high school, so that's not a good idea. Like
This is insane to me. Wow.
Yeah.
Just because I'm so different, and I thought everyone was like, I didn't think everyone was like me. That's not true. But like, man, I have so much shit that like just randomly pops up. I don't even remember what I said. I snapped at some girl when I don't know. I think she was being nice or something, and like I don't even remember what I said or the context, but I just remember like that I did it, and then immediately felt bad for like the next couple years, and like that kind of feeling comes up. My band teacher in junior high played rare thing for her to take time to be like, I'm gonna actually perform for you a piece that I've been working on, instead of like and while there's like again, this is like the stupidest, there's like 8 of us in this class, and she's playing, and I was like making fun of things she was doing to my friend, like just silently, just kind of like pointing them out, and like and she saw them because we were sitting right in front of her, and like she stopped playing and was like, yes, I know that like my face looks weird or whatever, I play in this way. And like the idea of that I did that is like, again, like I don't know why that one like was me, like I can't blame it on anyone else, but I think that's me thinking I'm trying to be cool by making fun of people. But I'm like horrified that I would do that. I feel really guilty about that. I won't keep going, but
No, I'm wondering like what it says. I'm wondering what it says. Like, it seems on brand for you to have like, all of these residual things that like nag at you or gnaw at you, even however many fucking years later.
Yeah.
Am I a sociopath?
Yeah, Rob. I mean, to not have one. It is
no, hold on. I can think of things that I regret and should apologize for, but I have to actively pursue where they are in my brain.
Yes, I understand what you're saying,
okay.
and that's the crazy thing. Like, yes, it is more on brand that you would have less of those things. You would have come to terms, and like I shouldn't feel guilty about a random thing I don't even remember I said to some girl once. Like, that is not worth dwelling over. So I understand you would have less, but to not have just one thing that pops up at least is like insane to me.
It's also a long ass time ago.
But okay, I won't. Yeah,
I don't think we're going to have one, but my 25th would be this summer coming up, and
I hope you don't have one.
That's a long ass time ago. Your turn.
Okay. This is from By and By on Patreon.
Great. B-I and B-I.
Well, you can only do first and last name, so it's By and, unless their name is By and By. That's a cool name. That should be our like By mascot. By and. So, who did you have a crush on in high school, and do you still think about them today?
Oh God.
The fact that that felt like you maybe didn't want to answer feels exciting to me.
Yeah,
what?
I don't want to answer.
Do you not want to answer enough that you don't want to answer?
No,
answer?
No,
okay.
Fuck. Here I am, open book. We've already touched on the fact that you can't get me to shut up about shit I shouldn't talk about. So, okay, so I was so gay. Like, I don't know how I ever. Hindsight's always 20/20, and I have no idea how I ever thought that I was just gonna like buckle down and not be because, or how I ever convinced myself that maybe I'd be straight someday when the right hormone kicked in, or whatever the fuck lie I was telling myself. Because like I had full on infatuated sexual feelings, crushes on several dudes in high school, and it just. To know that and jerk off to that and be totally in denial that it was real and still like years later marry a woman. I just what a clusterfuck of fucked up psychological horseshit, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, are we supposed to name names?
Well, it probably wouldn't matter for me because I don't know. I'm not friends with people from high school because I'm a normal person. But like your people actually listen to this, so yes, I want you to name names.
Okay, so I had a serious. Oh God, Jason Wayne was a classmate.
Jason Wayne,
yeah, exactly. A classmate of mine who then he is either in or just got out of prison. He's had a really rough life, but he's like still at 42 or whatever, like ridiculously jacked. Thanks prison or whatever. But like. From 5th or 6th grade, I had a crush on him. So I think it's 6th grade. At the time, anyway, I think it was 6th grade. They send all of the 6th graders to Camp Cispus for a week or two. So, like, the whole grade, all at the same time, goes to this like off-season Girl Scout camp. I don't remember much about it, but I know that it happened. So, like. Your whole 6th grade year, everybody's like anxiously anticipating this, like we're all going to camp together. What a weird program, but like it happened, and I went, and I had a camera. I think it was a disposable camera. Nope, it was a real camera, but I had a roll of film to take pictures with. I took pictures of him. Like there are multiple pictures of him because I was super into him and I thought he was beautiful.
Did you do it creepily, like without him knowing?
Yeah.
Oh no! Okay,
sure.
Oh, I mean, I've definitely done that before, but yeah, yeah.
And this was the 80s. This was like 89 or 90. This trip was. I'm almost certain. And like, I had a hard time like functioning whenever he was around, and that stayed into high school and
maybe into now.
I mean, he could fuck me if he wanted to, and he's. I mean, I don't think he has a lot of options if he's in jail, so maybe that would happen.
He does still hold the record for javelin at your old high school.
Great.
Wow.
Sure. Yeah.
That's your intro line. It's like, oh, you used to do the javelin. Wow, that's a long pull.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, it was 7th or 8th grade. I joined the track team so that I could be around him.
I totally get that. Okay, speaking of the track team,
yeah,
I absolutely relate to you that it is like one of those looking back on this moments. It is just there. Yeah. My first like major crush, I was in the 7th grade, and Cameron was in the 8th grade, and we I did cross.
Sorry, that's him.
Jesus Christ. When you say he's like still jacked, like he's like bodybuilder, like 0% body fat jacked.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. That's my first crush. I never knew what crushes were until this moment.
Great. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. I thought you might want to see that, so I interrupted this podcast.
Yes.
I now return you to your previously scheduled program.
Yeah, so Cameron, oh no, maybe I was in 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade, and I was in cross country. He was a year older than me, and I was one of the few, like, my age, like, of that year that was in it, and he was just so attractive.
Yeah.
He was just so attractive. And same, like, and this is part of the, like, I would get super nervous when we went to the showers, because we would do morning practices and have to go to the showers, because cross country is a sweaty ordeal. And, like, that was... you know, generalized anxiety, but also specific to him. And I didn't know if it was because I wanted to see him, but I didn't want to see. I don't know. I didn't know exactly what I wanted from that. So that's one of the reasons I use the disabled shower.
Yeah.
And yeah, would actively jerk off to him so often.
Yep.
Like because I had a crush on him, and like that is the moment. I agree with you that like it's psychological fucked upness. Like if we just had that experience and didn't have all these pressures, that would be like, oh, here's a clear sign I'm gay.
Yeah.
But the fact that we could experience that and not have that ring of I am gay, and then like that's, I don't know. I think I often downplay the societal microaggressions or whatever that you call it. But the fact that I did not take that and say, oh, okay, I'm gay, there has to be so much pressure to counteract that very clear sign.
It has taken a lot of therapy for me to not fear my own self-duplicity. And worried that like if I can lie to myself about that, like what else can I lie to myself about? Like am I capable of like strangling a 4-year-old while convinced that I'm still a good person? Like
which 4-year-old?
Some of them deserve it,
you know.
But yeah, like
you mean like how I just was talking about how I tricked myself into not going to my high school reunion?
Yes.
Oh, I'm real good at tricking myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
I learned it from that.
Yeah,
you taught me to lie.
Yeah.
Not you, but like in general. You got that.
You, Mike, I learned it by watching you. Yeah.
Do you want to do an announcement?
Let's do an announcement.
I
have an announcement.
Whoa, what is it?
Kyle will be announcing something right now.
Okay, I thought we could start with the new t-shirts, because I'm very excited about that. So we have some new t-shirts that fucking Dan designs that say
everyone needs a fucking Dan. Just hire somebody, pay them nothing, and then make them do things.
Or maybe specifically hire fucking Dan. I don't know. They are Be Butch, Be Fabulous, Be You shirts, and now we turn it to Dan live in the field to talk more about those shirts.
All right, so the shirts are available in black and white, and there are also mugs and stickers. All right, I apologize for my weird speech impediment right now. I just had my tongue double pierced.
Well, you had it single pierced.
It was
but
already
the second.
pierced. Yeah, the second one. Yeah, so
correction.
My tongue, exactly. My tongue is a little swollen and a little sore. So those will be up on the site as of now when you're hearing this, and you can get them in black or white. And they come in, I think it's 13 or 14 different rainbow designs. So the Be Butch, Be Fabulous are both in gray and different fonts, and then Be You is all caps, and it is in a various rainbows. So you can get the traditional Pride rainbow flag, you can get the Philly rainbow flag, which has the black and brown stripes in addition to the other stripes. You can get the bisexual flag, the pansexual flag, the transgender flag, the non-binary flag, the genderqueer flag, the aromantic flag, the asexual flag, the leather flag, bear flag, polyamory flag, or the straight ally flag.
That feels like there should be a Dr. Seuss book in there. Would you, could you with the pan?
Dan, you're my favorite flagget.
How long were you sitting on that one?
Don't ask a girl to tell her secrets.
I think they're really adorable. I really like the Be Butch is in like a gay squirrely font. The Be Fabulous is in like a butch heavy font to play on our themes. They're adorable shirts, and go get one if you want. We don't have we're trying to get more and more safe for work shirts and merch. So
yeah, something you can wear to the family reunion.
Yeah,
or your high school reunion.
That's
so
true.
People don't have to ask you if you're gay. You've got a big fucking flag on you.
Yep.
Yeah.
How sad are people going to be that BU is spelled EWE?
I've been playing so much Minecraft and so focused on sheep, but just I don't know how it happened.
No, you did a lot of work to get all of that together, and they're super cute, and I hope people like them. So,
and it is not spelled EWE, in case that would be a deal breaker. I just really need to emphasize that.
But if you want your Be Butch, Be Fabulous, Be You shirt, you can get it at gayishpodcast.com/merch.
Yeah. Another question?
Sure.
Your turn.
I just asked the question about the apology. I'm kidding. Okay.
No, I asked the thing about.
I know. So this one comes from Jeff Embleton, who made his name up.
right. The fake persona.
But he asked a question specifically for each of us. So I'll start with Kyle.
Is this from
Discord?
Okay.
Discord. Jeff Embleton. For Kyle, did you decide to become a writer because of all those dirty stories you wrote about the football team?
Interestingly, the very first thing I published is about a bi dude in a football team in high school.
Everybody, Kyle's a published author.
That's technically true. No, I shouldn't say it like that. Yes, I've published it.
Yeah,
in
own that
places.
shit.
Own it.
Here's your dick. Show it to everybody.
It has writing on it. I wrote a poem on my dick. It's my modern poetry. Actually, hold on. Let me jot this down real quick. I took a writing class, or signed up for a writing class in high school, like 9th or 10th grade, and the first writing assignment was to write about, I think it was like a scary childhood memory or something, or something about a monster. I don't know, something that I sat down to try to write it. And I started writing something and I was like, this is dumb. And then I quit the class. And then I justified it. While this is a part of the factor, it was really my justification to outwardly is that, if you took a,
Are your feelings coming out?
I think so. No, this is one of those things. This is actually similar to like being gay, of like, I can trace back. I wanted to be a writer, but felt embarrassed about it or whatever, and didn't pursue it then, even though I clearly wanted to. Like, this is another moment of like repressing what I want.
Yeah.
I said that if you took an advanced class, you could get a 5.0 on your GPA.
Mm-hmm.
If you took a regular class, you could only get a 4.0 if you got an A.
That's some white people bullshit.
So this class there was just one creative writing class, so it was not an advanced or AP class, so it would have been a 4.0. And that would have brought down my overall GPA and made it less likely for me to get into the top, of the class. And so that's the reason I gave, and that's a tiny bit, like I was really competitive in that way. I think I ended up 13th in my class.
Maybe you are the hottest. Maybe you were wrong.
No.
Okay.
Cameron. Oh, he wasn't in my grade. Morgan. What was the question? It doesn't matter.
Just great.
There you go. Writing. What was the question for you?
For me, oh my God, we had so much fun in the school plays. Do you still act and sing? Oh my God, you're gay. Wait, did you have a thing with best male friend Chris? Probably. I mean, you guys were always together. So 2 questions. Do you still act and sing? Act only when Kyle lets me, and sing? Yeah, I do. I try to. In fact, I was doing some of that this morning because I'm covering a song for Kyle's documentary. And
I was also singing because I was listening to the song Real Groove by Kylie Minogue, which now goes on the playlist.
Yes.
I wrote it down so I'd remember. Her new album came out. It's just like a 80s modern disco. It's called disco, dance, happy palooza.
Okay. Great.
It's Kylie at her Kyliest.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No.
That's what
Then did you have a thing with, it has to be Chris Carlisle. I mean, you guys were always together. Here's the thing. I probably shouldn't say too much. And he's like thrice the man he was in high school.
And he got a penis enlargement?
Maybe.
Okay. Wait, what?
He's
grown. He's filled out.
Exactly. But we were roommates in college for a quarter my sophomore year, and he is now a evangelical, super conservative Christian pastor, married, has a bunch of kids, and nothing ever happened, but damn did it almost. End of story.
Is this something you can't share more of?
I probably.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't.
Okay, so okay.
I could bleep out his name too.
No, that's fine. Whatever. Anybody in my life that would care that it would get back to him. First of all, I don't care. Fuck him.
Oh.
Because of the hate that he spews regularly.
Oh, this is one of those like usually you don't say things about people, but he's so anti-LGBT. You can share.
But I'm fine with it. Yeah. And I don't know. I guess.
What'd you do?
Did nothing, but there was a brief period of time my sophomore year where I was starting to test the waters and kind of came out to some people despite going way back in the closet when I joined the fraternity. So I went on a date with a dude in Spokane when I was in college. And I lived with Chris. And at that time I started telling my very, very closest friends that I thought I was probably bisexual just to see like how they reacted to that. That got back to Chris, who then wanted to have a conversation about it one night. And I could tell by his body language, it's because he felt the same way. And I shut the conversation down because I was not ready to come out to him or have that conversation. So I sort of brushed it off and we never spoke of it again. But like, I'm a good read of people, and I'm quite certain that a lot of his homophobic vitriol is based in the fact that he is not totally straight. And that one night in college is what tells me that.
This has been gayish. We don't need to talk anymore. Fuck.
Okay, so great. Yeah, yes.
I was going to say I had a straight friend. There was a time once in junior high, my best friend before my best friend switched over to girls in high school, but I had a male best friend named Aaron. And I think this is just like, we were so like puberty ridden, lot laden individuals.
Just riddled with puberty.
Just puberty everywhere. And we, at one point, we like play truth or dare, and I know, right? Start of many a good porn. But there's like, I don't know how we got into this, but there was one point where we played the Robin song "Show Me Love," and like kind of like humped each other, like fake humped, because that was the dare or whatever. In retrospect.
There's the meme going around about like the guys that started playing gay chicken in college and like they've been married for 14 years and have their second child on the way, but like
because no one will back
down. Yeah.
I really think that it was different than what you're saying. I think this is just because when you're that age and you have all these hormones, you just want to hump something. And like, it may be a little bit testing, just like, but I think it's just like, I don't know what, do you remember that? Like before I figured out how to jerk off, I was just like, what is happening to me? Like, why do I, like, I just think there was that tension and whatever. And I think that's why I did it. He's now married. I think he might be more conservative, but I don't really know. And that's part of the fear of high school shit. But like, yeah, it's just very interesting looking back on that.
Last one is for Dan. You always seemed so excited in biology class when we had to do dissections. What was the deal with that?
Well,
because you love dead things.
I love dead things
in your freezer.
Yeah, I have a dead thing in my freezer. Finally,
great.
I went outside and there was a little sparrow that was dead outside my door. I think it hit a window.
Was it dead before?
Yeah. Okay. I was very dead. Yeah, it was in rigor mortis, so it had been dead for a while, but not a long time. So. It was a good window to catch it, so I put it in the freezer. And
was it after a full moon and you can't remember the last night, or
it might have? There was just a full moon.
Okay, no.
I was very excited for biology. That is very true. I knew from a young age that's what I wanted to study, so I sort of skipped some classes and started biology in my freshman year. In my senior year, I was taking a college level anatomy class. And literally carrying, for part of the year, a frog dissection around in a lunch pail with me every day, because you don't dissect it all in one day. You dissect it over a time period, and you're responsible for taking care of it. And then I had, like, I think it was a cow heart maybe, or a sheep heart that was in my lunch pail for...
I can't... I'm not surprised, and yet I am very shocked.
I'm still on. You have to dissect it over the course of several days. I think Jeffrey Dahmer said that too. Like, that sounds crazy.
We had to dissect rats when I was in high school.
Really?
In biology, and that was real disgusting. It took a long time.
I think we did frogs.
Yeah. I to this day have a fondness for the smell of formalin.
Wait,
yeah, which is
is that different than formaldehyde?
It's slightly different than formaldehyde, yeah, but it's the same purpose.
Okay,
yeah.
Mr. Biology. And I figure that can also tease in Patreon. We're going to make sure we answer every Patreon member's questions, and we'll have more Dan answers too. Dancers, as I call them. Wait, nope, that's a different word. So Dan will dance his answers, and we will interpret them.
Can I pee?
Me too.
What?
You go first.
Wait.
What?
Hold on.
Oh?
I mean, yes, you can pee, but first,
we
asked a lot of our previous guests if they would please send us a well wish for our 200th episode and talk about their answer to the question, have you been to a high school reunion? If so, what was that like? Tell a good story.
Yeah.
And if not, why didn't you go?
Yeah.
And here's some of those answers.
Wow, that was such you're basically Ellen hosting a game show.
Great, thanks.
Hey guys, Davey Wavey here. So no, I have never been to my high school reunions because I went to an all-boys Catholic high school and every day learned about how I would burn in hell for all of eternity. And the idea of going back to that school and seeing those boys again is not particularly high on my list. My strategy was just to get through high school. However, I will say this, that one of my best friends at school is now a popular drag queen. And I think the only way that I would go back, now me being a porn producer and her being this fabulous drag queen, is if we could go together arm in arm and really give them something to talk about and just solidify our spot in hell.
96, so it's been 24 years for me.
Yeah, it's been more for me.
Obviously. Okay.
Whoa. Okay. All right. Let's introduce ourselves. Here we go.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. I'm Robin.
I'm Jaimie, and we are the co-hosts of If These Ovaries Could Talk. And
That's us.
That's us. Yes. And I have to say, I have not attended a single high school reunion. And it's
What?
Nope. It's been 24 years. I haven't attended not a single one.
I have never either, but I would have thought you would have.
Absolutely not.
Why didn't you,
interest.
Jaimie?
You know what? I think that it does have to do with the fact that I am gay. And nobody had any inkling of that, I guess, when I was in high school.
You guessed? Well, because you had a boyfriend all through high school.
I did. It's so weird. But I'm super gay now. And
Yeah.
I think that is a big part of it. And I don't know how people would respond, although everybody knows now because I have a podcast about being gay. But
Super gay.
I'm always shocked even when high school friends friend me because they know who I am now. But I think it's also because I hadn't really accomplished what I thought I was going to accomplish. I still haven't gotten to that point. So I don't want to
Really?
go back. No.
Oh, that's interesting. See, I have never either. And I didn't at first because I was like, when I go back, I better be on Oprah, and then I'll go back and I'll crush all those people that made me feel bad. And then because I was
not what I wanted,
I was a loser. But then it was a little bit about the gay thing. But then interestingly enough, I wrote an essay about my 30th high school reunion and not going back and feeling like I was a loser. And I got, after I put that up on Medium, I got so many wonderful emails from people from my high school saying oh my God, get back here. We would love to see you. We don't care if you're gay. We don't care. Whatever. I got, and a couple people being I'm sorry, I thought we were friends. I'm so sorry you had such a hard time. It was the most wonderful experience. And after that, I thought maybe I will go back.
Are you going to go?
I don't know.
No.
Let's switch.
Weird.
I'll go to your high school reunion and you go to mine, and then let's see what happens.
Together to each.
And I'll just start singing, and people will be like, I really thought you had a better voice. And you just go in a football uniform since I played football, and let's see what happens.
I don't know if that's going to work. Can you imagine my 4'11" in a football uniform?
Please, I can. Let's do it. We're doing it. This is what's happening.
God.
And
so neither one of us went. There you have it. Great.
Hey, it's Auntie Kerel, founder and 1/3 of the co-host Aunties on Minoritea Report podcast. New episode every Monday, by the way. Check us out. But I have not attended my high school reunion. Not because I wouldn't, not because I don't want to, but we haven't had one yet. And as young as I'd like to think I am, it's not because I'm too young to have one. We just never had one. 10 years came and gone, and 15 came and went, and in a couple of years it'll be 20 years. And no one has made a peep. No one's made a Facebook group or anything like that. So I don't know if we'll have one ever. So who knows? And I think they probably looked to me because I was student council president, but it was supposed to be class president, and he hasn't organized anything, and so I haven't either. But kudos to you guys for hitting 200 episodes. Woo! We're hitting our 100th episode here in a couple of weeks, so I know the time and energy and effort it takes to keep this ball rolling, so kudos to you guys, and still looking good while doing it. Ow! But we'll catch up with you guys soon. All right, take care.
This is Murph Johnson. Michael, Kyle, fucking Dan. Yes, I have been to a class reunion. I went to one time, my 10-year reunion, which was a little over 10 years ago. 20th reunion didn't happen. Hashtag COVID. I didn't have any experiences as a LGBTQ person, since I'm not. However, a classmate of mine, her name is Bailey Muffet, and when I knew her, her name was Muffet, in high school. And I had several classes together, and she was in the military, and I think recently got out. I'm not sure. I don't follow social media anymore. But I know that she was pretty highly decorated while in the military, and transitioned while in the military. And yeah, it's just an interesting story. I don't know much about her, really. Haven't kept in touch or anything like that, but being a small school, as you know, as Michael talks about every freaking episode he can talk about, how tiny ass podunk bullshit our town was growing up. So anyways, just something that I experienced, and yeah, cheers. Happy 200. Bye.
Well, thanks, you people, for saying things that are nice to us that we totally listened to just now.
Yeah. Oh, that was pretty good. So our next announcement.
Yeah, another announcement. I have an announcement.
What is it, Mike?
Kyle will be announcing our Patreon changes.
I feel bad because I'm doing the announcements, but I was the one.
You're the one that wrote them down.
Yeah.
Okay. You own them now.
You own
you
these
peed on them.
Oh no. Okay, this is some of the weird shit that I have only learned from you. It's fine to just be honest about. Like, usually I would have been like, we shouldn't tell listeners what I've written, and we should have planned this ahead of time. And that's the weird stuff that I incorrectly overly worry about and don't want to be honest about.
Yeah.
Honesty.
Oh, I mean, okay, so I'm a people pleaser or something. I know that
the word slut, Mike. The word
great.
Slut.
Great. I imagine that there's a large segment of our listenership that enjoys knowing the things that happen behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And so that makes me want to expose them.
Yeah.
And expose myself.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. When we met before this, I took the notes.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Updates to Patreon. We are updating and adding and tweaking some of our levels. So update for our $50 a month Gap Bridgers. Two things. One, we're going to start adding a monthly poll where each month we'll throw out several episode ideas and have y'all vote on them, and whichever one gets the most votes is an episode we will do that month. So you get to pick your own episode once you've been a Gap Bridger for 3 months, but then you'll ongoingly be able to help decide what topics we talk about.
Yeah.
And
it's your show.
It's your show.
Barely.
Brought to you by Kyle and Mike. This one is an exciting one. You say this one because it's your idea.
Yeah. We will also... or
maybe I should say it because
rules. we decided that if you've been a Gap Bridger for a year, then you are more or less a permanent part of the show. And so as long as you remain a Gap Bridger, we are going to say the names of those people every episode as a thank you. So at the end of every episode, we will say the list of all of our active Gap Bridgers as long as they've been a Gap Bridger for the equivalent of a year.
Yeah. Wow. Well, we're starting that this episode, and there are 2 people so far. So
yeah,
stick around to see if it's you.
Yep.
See and stick around. What?
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're called.
We're calling them the Super Gap Bridgers. Thanks,
Yes,
Dan,
thanks,
for
Dan.
flexing.
Yeah. So then our $25 thing. We've just heard everyone. Ah, man, this is the stuff that when people say, I feel like you're lying about that. We've heard from our listeners. We've heard from you, our listeners, that you want more video content. And
Yeah.
So we will start to video our Patreon segments.
Yep.
And post the video of those. I was just, I guess starting now?
Starting now.
Great.
Enjoy, everybody.
We planned only as far as that idea, but yes, we will start to have videos.
Sorry in advance for the low quality video this month.
And
It'll get better,
ongoing.
I'm
Or
sure.
maybe not. We don't know. Stick around. Join at a $25 level to find out. $25 level is a new level that we're adding. And you will also get a signed Gayish logo t-shirt.
Yeah.
Which
People said, so all of our Patreon supporters, regardless of at what tier, are invited to our quarterly Zoom, Patreon, Zoom.
Happy hour?
I said Zoom happy hour. Yeah. Video calls. We have video calls with all of our supporters. And, we just had one the day after the election, which that was a terrible idea, at least for me, psychologically and emotionally. But we did it. And one of the things that came up in that call was that it would be nice to, for whatever reason, have our signatures on shit, which I feel even weirder about than Kyle. But we heard you, and we're going to do it.
Yeah. Which, just a minor update on the $15 level, you right now get a free shirt. We're going to make that the Gayish logo shirt. That is the free shirt that you get from now on. It used to be Be Bush, Be Fabulous, Be You, but we want to make it a
Bullshit
safe.
is bullshit.
Great. That's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be Bullshit is Bullshit. We wanted to make it a safe for work one. So that you'll get that for free. That's weird. But at the $15 level and at $25, you'll get a signed one.
Great.
So join our Patreon. Okay. Back to questions.
Sure. Back to questions.
This is from Scene Hazen, potential Super Gap Bridger, but stay tuned to figure out. From Patreon, what is your funniest memory and why?
Funniest memory?
Like, funny.
Oh. I mean, in high school, there was a time when I drove my very first car that was mine and not like the family car was an 81 Honda Accord hatchback. And one day for lunch, we tried to get as many people into it as we could and drive down to the gas station to get sodas, I think. I didn't do drugs or anything, so like there was no way that was why. But we're just like, let's see how many like Crisco slathered bodies we can force into this hatchback, and then go somewhere like we're a clown car. And I think we fit 10 people.
Wow.
In like the tiniest car ever, and I'm surprised nobody was injured. But just like it was a nonstop just laugh fest. It really was.
Yeah.
Like all of these just bodies piled into this huge ass mess. Anyway,
I really enjoy stories that need proactive clarification that I was not on drugs. Like, I'm going to tell you this, and to clarify, this is not related to drugs.
Yeah. How about you?
I have fond memories of the bus rides to and from the football games where, because I was in the band for us to perform, and that was like I don't know, like it was just like riding on the bus with all your buds, and you had like your person that you always sat with, so you knew like where you sat, and then you would talk across the seats to people, and so yeah, I think maybe not like one specific like memory, but those are just like some of my most enjoyable memories.
Yeah, band bus trips were fantastic.
Yeah.
Because we used to have to come over here for state basketball tournaments over here from Yakima County to Seattle, which that's like a 2.5 hour drive, give or take, longer because if you're on a bus. And they were great. We had so much fun. And
And we'd go to after the game. Sometimes we go to IHOP.
Yeah.
And like that is just like earnest, just childhood enjoyment. Like there's nothing better than like. I'm sure at the time it was not like I'm sure I was like, am I going to fit in or am I going to sit in the right? Like, but just looking back on it, that just feels like just this genuine, honest feeling of enjoyment and happiness. When we did that, I was in a group that I liked with people that I was friends with, and one of the happiest times in my life I can remember is my junior and senior year of high school. I was kind of a leader and then drum major of the band, so like. I felt like I was cool in the band world, or like
cool in the gang.
Cool.
Quick, Dan, what's one of their songs so I can force it its way onto the Spotify list?
Are you talking about
Celebrate Good Times?
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, this is not Coolio and
No.
the gang? Okay.
No.
I don't know. Okay. Oh, no. It's your turn.
It's my turn?
Yep.
This one's from... From
Patreon?
Yeah, from Patreon. We've tried to say his name before, but
you know,
is the best I can do. It's like Goethe, but not.
But different.
What title? What superlative? For example, best ass. Did you win / would you win at the end of your high school time?
Did you win any?
No.
I turn it around on you because I didn't win any, and I assume you had a better chance of winning.
I don't think. I mean, our yearbook did them. I just don't. I don't think I got any of them.
That would be something I feel like you would distinctly remember if you won.
Yeah, I think I would remember too. So
Okay.
that makes me think it didn't happen.
I also didn't win. It's one of those. That is one of those moments where it's a popularity contest that you like. I personally knew I wasn't going to win, and it feels like this Mean Girls moment of like, but there's a part of me that really wants to have been nominated for something because I want to be like even in the list, and I wanted people to like, you know, it'd be like one of those. I'm nominated for something. Oh, that's so cool. I'm so, you know, like that one of those moments that I just wanted to have. And of course I wasn't, and it made sense. I was not like,
Yep.
cool like everyone else.
But now, what should you have won, even though you didn't?
I mean, he already said it. Best ass. Sure. Let's stick with. We can stick with that. What should I have? I don't.
This is funny because like you have to say something nice about yourself.
Well, no, I don't. I was gonna say best at just kind of like existing with an unoffensive way.
Highest level of mediocrity. Like,
Yeah, it's just like I'm kind of okay with everyone, and no one really hated me, and I don't think I really hated anyone, and so it was like kind of okay. I think my brother being in sports and him being just a year older than me, like made it so I was like kind of okay with his sports friends, and so I was just kind of like medium. I was just kind of medium to everyone. I just kind of slid through being okay.
Yeah.
Which is why I would never win one of these things, because I intentionally tried not to be too distinct or have any distinct thing or
Yeah.
What would you have won?
Most likely to marry a robot. No,
I can't tell if you're making a joke about your ex-wife or Data.
Yes.
Okay, great. It reminds me of the Robin song, I Am Not a Fembot.
Is that a real song?
Mm-hmm. I've got some news for you.
Okay.
Fembots.
Oh, yeah.
Feelings too.
I do know that song.
Yeah.
Great. Most likely to tell you he's smart.
Do you think you were like the smartest or one of the smartest in your graduating class?
I don't know.
Or like, do you kind of think you are, but you can't say it?
No, this is problematic, but whatever. I mean, I think I think I was, and most likely because I was ADHD, that never translated into grades. And unfortunately, we as a society seem to think that there's a direct line between intelligence and academic achievement when there's not. And
like they've shown SAT scores are a reflection of your income. Like if you chart SAT scores against income, if you make more money, you will do better at them. And when you think about like, because you can take tests and prep things and whatever, like it makes sense.
Yep. Absolutely. And so I don't know. like I feel bad. I was not valedictorian. I was not salutatorian. I wasn't even fucking close. I was like the middle of my class, but I still managed to go to college, and that was kind of a shit show academically, but I ended up graduating. But like, I had a reputation for knowing shit, that's for sure, and I had a reputation for being argumentative. And
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
I was saying that like I quit that writing class to try to fight for a higher spot, like in the like, GPA rankings or whatever. That is one of those things I look back and think, why did I do that? I think because I thought I was supposed to, or that was I felt like I was reasonably intelligent, so it made sense that was something I would care about. But to the extreme that I would drop that writing class, I'm like, I wish I did not care as much about that part of things. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was a net. It probably like pushed me, and I took some AP classes, but I didn't have to push myself that hard. Like, it probably is not a net benefit that I pushed that hard. Of like, I could have been number 50 in the class or 100 or something.
Yeah,
it wouldn't have, and I could have enjoyed stuff more.
Yeah. I could have enjoyed stuff more. Gayish. Also, one of my very best friends from high school is for sure like one of the smartest people I know in the entire world, and I should not claim to be even close to as smart as she is, because she does like genetic research on nematodes at Harvard or some shit, or Johns Hopkins. Anyway, she's like,
what's a nematode?
A worm.
Why didn't you just say a worm?
Because they're a specific kind of worm.
Sure.
Great. This
is from Felix Palafox from Patreon.
Hey.
Hi. This is a little bit different kind of take on what we asked. More about the show. What has been the hardest episode for us to do, whether it is not finding information on the theme, lack of interest, or random circumstance, or just simply hard to talk about?
I think I would like to answer all three of those in reverse order. The last one being, what was the hardest to talk about?
Yeah.
Dogs is way up there.
Which is a really interesting one where like you get into weird things that we don't expect. Like, did you expect dogs? I mean, you knew you were going to talk about Trevor and your dog.
Yeah.
Or I guess, did you know going into it was going to be hard?
That was like the week after Boomer left my life.
Oh,
and like
okay.
I was,
You knew.
Yeah, I knew. Which is why, like we've said it before, when we're sitting down and talking about like, hey, what should our episode schedule be like? If there's an idea that comes up and we're like, oh fuck, no, I don't want to, we're likely to do it then because of that feeling. Yeah.
And for me, like, breakups was one of those where I felt uncomfortable doing it, but we had done it enough to know, like, I could kind of skip the like, oh, I'm uncomfortable with this, I can't, I'll do that, and I knew that was in my brain. I could like jump over that part of the process and just be like, I'm ready to do this and we should do this now.
Yep. Gay divorce was hard. Same reason. And weddings was like surprisingly difficult. And like,
that was more, for me, that was more about just like the structure of like sit down and talk on your own and not having, is that what you're meaning?
Absolutely. Well, and the stuff that bubbled up, I think that like me being separate, but knowing that it was going to make it to the air potentially led us to explore. It was a really different tone, and I still love that episode after all this time. Yeah. And you did all the work on that. It was great.
That one got dark.
Except the compliment.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. You're welcome.
No, I wasn't going to dispute it.
Right.
No, it just like got dark without one of the benefits of interacting with you is like, then we make jokes and like, but when I'm on my own, I don't do that to myself. So I feel like that's part of why it got like kind of dark. Yeah. I think someone made recently is listening to the back catalog and said something about this episode, but the episode about fashion, I just didn't care and had to like really stretch to find things I cared about that like, I don't want to let people down. I want to talk about the topic, but I also don't want to talk about shit I don't care about. So
yeah. And that, not a ton, but like that episode got some pushback that like, y'all fucked that episode up.
I actually think, okay, this is one of the few times where I think criticism reflects a good thing. Like I'm able to take that criticism and say like, their criticism is absolutely true. We did not talk about fashion as much as you would expect, or it was very different than our other topics. And that reflects our lack of interest in fashion. So the fact that we didn't talk a ton about our favorite styles or designers or whatever is the point of it.
Yep.
Like, that shows that we don't care about fashion and defies the stereotype, which is what we're trying to show.
My favorite design house is Old Navy. There, we made up for it.
Well, I forget, at one point we talked about, I think it was on a Patreon segment of like, what have white people contributed to like society and festivals and celebrations or anything, and I think
mayonnaise-based salads.
I mean, I think I said something like, I mean, Irish, there's like St. Patrick's Day. Someone was like the Old Navy 4th of July sale. And I was like, fuck. That's so true. That's the one.
Great.
Has it been hard talking about your blags?
Great.
I super casually asked.
You did so great.
Did
You
I?
did so great. It's our Polari word of the week, everybody.
That is our Polari word of the week.
Blags?
Blag. B-L-A-G.
Okay.
I was, this time I looked through the Polari words just to be like, what word is just so, and I saw blag and I was like, I think Tina Fey has said this many times in 30 Wrong. A blag is a verb to make a sexual pickup, like picking someone up.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Is there something potentially
It does
problematic?
sound slurish, doesn't it?
I was like, oh, please let it not be that.
What?
Black fag?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think of that.
Well, that's because you're a millennial. Your brain works different than ours.
I don't hear color.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So you can like blag.
But it's a verb.
It's a verb. You blag someone or on someone. I don't know. They don't talk about the
Blag all over their face. Sure.
pick up all over their face. I don't think that's. I think you did it wrong and bad.
It's the Polari word of the week. Blag.
Oh,
We have an announcement, everybody. Wait, Kyle.
Mike.
I have an announcement.
What could that possibly be?
You're going to make an announcement about the Polari word of the week.
That's true. My announcement is that with a heavy heart, I have to say that Mike has a big announcement about it.
Great. Yes, exactly. My fellow Americans, it's time for us to come together.
Spell come.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. I'm going to count to 3. Everybody jizz. No. So we've given it some careful thought, and we've decided that it's just too hard to keep doing it. We're going to stop the Polari word of the week with this week's fantastic, totally undetected insertion by Kyle.
Surprisingly, one of my best, which is reflective of how good I do that. But yeah. Thank you, Polari, for serving us well. We're throwing you in the trash just like the rest of us did.
We had a good run, but now we are tired, and we need some carbs.
And we're gonna save that energy to Vlag you.
Great. Everyone loves announcements about things being taken away, Kyle.
Yeah. Or some people were like, I hated that all along, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Great. Bona Nevada or Dali El Deek. So let's actually, while we're at it, we had some more lovely well-wishings and recordingses. Yeah. And we're going to play some of those right now.
Are you a professional podcaster?
Yeah.
Because you did that real good.
Hello, this is Amp from the Sex Education Podcast. What's your safe word? And I honestly wish I would have gone to my reunion, but I was just too nervous. As somebody who generally came out to pretty much everyone in their lives during college, my high school experience was not the best. I remember the people. I still know and follow some of them on Facebook, but at the time, I just didn't want to go and tell all of my past student classmates that I was doing sex work and porn and go-go dancing on the weekends. Just, Bobby was going to come in and be like, oh, I'm, starting my law degree, and Susan and Karen are over in the corner talking about, whatever businessy stuff they're doing. And I'm over in the corner just, sliding down the school pole and no, totally kidding. I honestly was doing sex work, but my high school experience wasn't great. And so I didn't feel like and didn't need to justify that I was doing well if I was actually, if I had a college degree. that I was doing well and that I was living my best life. I was happy. I was having some great sex. I was having great relationships. I was fully employed as well at a full-time job and doing really well as an LGBTQ person that wasn't out in high school. And part of that, I think, was helpful to my own personal well-being, and just taking care of my own mental health. I don't need the reminders of being that awkward, nerdy little kid in very, very ill-fitted clothing, because right now I'm thriving. I am living my best life.
Hey, Justin Michael Williams here, and oh my gosh, all right. So I was class president, and because I was class president my senior year of high school, one of them overachieving ass kids, I was tasked with planning our reunion. And to be honest with you, I didn't even really want to go to the reunion in the first place, let alone to plan it. I moved away from, home to go to college when I was 18, and I didn't have very much interest in even attending in the first place. But since I was responsible for planning the reunion, I thought, all right, I might as well do this and make it fun. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do something that I would want to go to. Break beyond the molds, break beyond all the things that we think a reunion is supposed to be, and let's make it fun. So what we did is, instead of doing a reunion at night, we actually did a big day party, and we rented out this entire bar, club, restaurant, and got a DJ. And what was so amazing about it is there was no dressing up, no dressing fancy, no trying to put on, just come casual, come as you are. And it was so incredible. And I want to tell you that in that experience, I learned 3 things. And I'll start with the most shallow and then go to kind of the deeper level. So most shallower stuff. Number 1, big thing that I learned is that almost everyone who teased me about being gay when I was in high school also turned out to be queer or lesbian or bi or something themselves. And so it really shows that thing that we know, that when people are angry or mean to us, or they bully us or they tease us, they're really, really defending against something that they can't face inside of their own selves. So that was number 1, really got proven to me that when I went to my reunion. And then number 2 was that the gay or the queer ones, whether they were men or women or trans or anything in between, seemed to be really the most put together because none of us had kids. And so it was like we had this incredible opportunity to step into a different angle of our lives, a little bit further than a lot of the people who had followed a more traditional path and gotten married and had kids. And then the final point that I think is important for me to mention is that the thing is that the move on getting people to come out during the day, instead of having them come to an evening event where people had to dress up and go on diets and do all this stuff that everybody tries to do for their reunion, it really lowered the pressure and allowed us to show up as our authentic selves. And the reason why this is really popular, or really important rather, is because so many of us weren't able to even know who we were authentically when we were in high school. But to be able to come back and show up in my fullness of my gayness and my sexuality and all that I am, it was really the first time that I was ever able to be around those same high school people, but feeling like I could be my full self in front of them. And for that, it felt like a very full circle moment and a really full circle healing for that 14-year-old boy inside of me who just wanted to know that he was enough. So that's what I learned. And high school reunion, 20-year, coming up soon.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm Matt from the X-Rated Movies Podcast.
And I'm Ryan from X-Rated Movies Podcast.
Wow, we're both from the same podcast.
Hey.
What are the coincidences?
How about that? Hey, Gayish guys, Mike and Kyle. Congratulations on 200 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, it paced us for some reason.
Yeah, how'd that happen?
I don't know.
Did we start around the same time?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. Anyway, did you go to your high school reunion?
No. Did you go to yours?
No.
Glad they asked us.
Yeah?
Why didn't you go, Ryan?
I don't know. I saw Romy and Michelle's high school reunion, and I was like, I get it. Also, Grosse Point Blank was around that time, so I was like,
You already had the feel.
Yeah.
You had the experience.
I don't know. I wasn't into high school 10 years after I was done with it.
Yeah, I don't feel like I romanticize high school, whether it has to do with me being queer or otherwise. Hard to say. It could just be that it was an unpleasant experience all around, and I don't quite understand why people romanticize it.
Hear, hear.
That's my feelings on the subject.
Well, you heard it here first.
So, yeah, if you want more banter like this, follow us, X-Rated Movies, wherever you get your podcasts.
Bye, Mike and Kyle.
Bye.
Hey, this is Jerrell, aka Auntie Hennessy from Minoritea Report. I have actually been to a high school reunion. I had to plan mine as class president, and it actually went really great. We didn't have a whole bunch of people come out just because, 10 years later, life changed, and a lot of people just had things going on. But personally, for me, the high school reunion was a great experience. Am I looking forward to planning my 20th? Hell no. But it is what it is, and that's what I get for running for class president.
Okay, another question?
Yeah, should this be our last one?
It can be our last one.
Well, okay, we don't have to decide yet. Next question.
We received another question on Patreon from Daniele Gianotti, and they asked us, what's the most embarrassing moment during school? What was your most embarrassing moment, Kyle? Here it is. Here is it time? Have you had enough wine yet?
Okay, this is one of the things that I don't know, I'm bad at thinking about embarrassing moments because I'm like anxious during all of it. So there was, well, I don't know if the thing that just jumped to my mind is in history class, there were like occasional like little pockets where I felt like I could be goofy and like there was a history class where I felt like I was kind of the class clown and the teacher and I had a good like relationship. Like that was not who I was in general, but like something about that class just made it work. And there's one time where I was being like super goofy and then my and like talking a bunch and kind of like, it was one of those things where I think it was fine and they kind of were going along with it. So I knew I wasn't. And then at one point though, he said, I have one word for you, detention. And then I was like, oh fuck. And like, I didn't actually get detention. So like, but it was just like all of a sudden shut me down. And I was like, oh God. Like, then I start to think like, oh God, was I making an idiot of myself? Like I always question when I'm like looking back on it, like, oh, did I probably talk too much and people thought that was really embarrassing and they probably hated it and probably thought I was being stupid and I thought it was funny, but it really wasn't and whatever. So then like all of a sudden, like him just saying that, I don't know if he was joking or really was angry and trying to get me to stop, but like it just shut me down completely.
Wow. So anxious.
What about
like there were signs from early on, apparently.
Yeah. I think some of it is like, I didn't know that everyone didn't. How does everyone not feel that? Like, what about you?
I am having a flashback, so this is great. So, yeah. How did all of this go down? It's seriously like slowly piecing together. So, talk about people I owe an apology, but for like a real fucked up way. Oh my God. Okay. So when I was in middle school, I was a TA for a teacher. And I'm trying to remember how all of that worked. I had a free period or something. I forget. But Mr. Hollenbeck, I was his TA and I graded his papers and then entered data into his computer, which was like an Apple II or something at the time. Anyway, there was a like study hall kind of a thing happening there, like detention, and it just happened to be scheduled at the same time. So I was in there working while these like two people that had all day detention were also in the classroom, one boy and one girl. And to this day, I'm nervous about like saying who it is or whatever. Anyway, I looked up from the computer a couple of times to see him full on exposing himself to her. So this male student pulling his shorts back so that his dick and balls were hanging out to expose himself to this girl that was also in detention because of the way the desks were, and like,
could she see it? Did she see it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Because she said to him out loud, "You're disgusting," and he kept doing it. And then I like looked down and like just focused on my work. Fast forward, and I had told a couple of people that I saw this happen, and I told the teacher, because this was like weeks later. The teacher asked me, "You were there that day. Did you see this?" And I said yes. And he said, "I'm really disappointed in you that you didn't say something at the time," which like is horrible. But even more horrible, I was in the lunchroom. It was lunchtime, and this man I'd never seen before came and said, "I need to talk to you." I'm like 12 years old. Takes me like around the corner outside on the side of the building. So it's not like I still feel safe in that like there are people nearby, but like it's just the two of us. And he says, "I hear you've been talking about this person," meaning the boy that exposed himself. "It would really be best for you and your family if you never said a word about that again." And I was terrified, and this is I think the first time I've ever spoken about it. Like, come to find out, it's this guy's lawyer. He lawyered up because there was a whole thing pending, and he threatened me and my family to shut up and not talk about what I had seen that day. And I did. I shut up and have not talked about what I saw that day.
Holy shit.
Yeah. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Super duper fucked up. Great. 30 years ago.
No, that like there are like a couple things that I'm like thinking of, like obviously like there are many breakdowns in the process, but kind of thinking about like and kind of analyzing what happened there. First of all, makes sense that if you were in a really shitty way, if you're a lawyer, what's the cheapest way I can achieve this? Like my end goal, and clearly intimidating you worked real well, was cheap for him, got what he needed.
Yep.
His client didn't experience backlash over that.
Yep.
Also, if you get a lawyer, clearly it's to the degree where you need a lawyer. Like,
yeah,
you like that is not just a like, oh, a thing happened once. Like that is maybe he had an ongoing problem or something.
Can I use the financial resources of Gayish Media LLC to have Dan figure out what that whole thing was about?
Do you want him to really dig into private investigator? Who that lawyer was, and this could be like our serial. Like how she's like at 9:42 on this day when you were a junior in high school.
Yeah.
What did the penis look like?
God. Yeah.
Was it a good penis at least?
I think
that's a fucked up thing to say to like someone who got exposed to.
Well, and I wonder if that's why I didn't say anything. Like had I been straight and like not kind of into it, would I have defended her better or spoken up more? Like how afraid was I of saying to people, I saw a penis and it was totally inappropriate, but I was kind of into it.
Yeah, there's like those things feel related or parallel. I could see how you'd be worried that one thing could lead to the other thing.
Yep.
Even though it wouldn't.
Yeah. Anyway,
I mean, it's also like something where I think are better at teaching young people like what is okay and not okay. And I don't think that's something that happened as much in the past of like showing your dick to someone is not a fun joke.
Yeah.
Like exposing yourself to someone is like a sexual crime.
Yep.
Not the fun sexual crime that I want people to commit to me.
Yep.
In a consensual way.
Yep.
It's like a...
Yep. Yep.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yep.
So with that, let's make an announcement?
Sure, yeah, let's make an announcement. Great. Here we go. Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Mike.
I have an announcement. What? You're going to make an announcement. I forget the other announcement.
Oh, okay, great. I really will. Okay, yes. The last thing just to mention is that you may start to hear ads that are specifically about some nonprofits. And so what we're starting to do, we're going to try to do is...
We have a lot of what they call in the business inventory.
In the digital marketing world, we have available inventory that we want to dedicate some of that inventory ad slots to nonprofits. So some of the ads you may hear would be either nonprofits that reach out to us, or our favorite nonprofits like the Trevor Project, who said like, sure, you can run an ad, but like make it very clear you are not associated with us, which was like a really bitchy response that is understandable. Like, you know, so if you have a nonprofit you want to promote, shoot it to us and we'll consider it for that kind of thing. And
like, we're going to soon run an ad for the Orlando Gay Chorus, which is something we're both super excited about and happy to support.
Yeah.
And so if there are fun causes like that out there in the world that you think could benefit from us talking about them in a good way.
Yeah. Especially, 501c3 nonprofits like that. It's distinctly like not a for-profit business kind of thing. You know, we want to help promote LGBT shit.
Yep.
Because we like LGBT shit and want more of it.
So let us know. I have a question.
What is your question?
Should we take a break?
Wait, before that, should we play one more set of people saying nice things or high school things?
Yeah, one last reel. One last, package. One last package of people who wrote in about their package.
Great.
Well, there was the Princess Bride, and those guys look so freaking old. And, like 90210, it was like the first reunion since they stopped the show in 2013. And the Trading Spaces one, everybody looked pretty good. They weren't that old when they were recording that. And then Steve Kerel and that Krasinski, that guy, the other guy, had just the two of them in the reunion thing, and it was pretty funny. But my favorite cast reunion was Grace and Frankie, though, because that was such a great show. I didn't see Jane on there, but Lily Tomlin, she looked funky. She looked really like more herself, I'm sure, but she had flat hair, glasses and stuff, so it made her look kind of old. But anyway, that's the cast reunion stuff I have.
Hi, Mike and Kyle. It is Marco
and Tony
from the Relationship podcast. Thank you both so much for inviting us to be a part of this very cool segment, and congratulations on your 200th episode.
Yay!
So excited for you both. So regarding reunions.
Yeah, so I didn't go to my high school reunion, not because of my queerness, but because I had a very tiny graduating class, and they wanted some ridiculously large amount of money for some crappy venue with nothing included. And I was like, well, that's not a reunion. Like, why isn't it at the high school? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't know, maybe I was wrong, but I just assumed the high school would like let you use the gym or whatever for a reunion. But no, it was this horrible venue, but it was a tiny town in a dry county, so what else could it be?
Yeah. So I went to high school in Las Vegas, and surprise, surprise, I went to a performing arts high school. Oddly enough, though, I wasn't out in high school, so that was a whole thing. I think because of social media, though, a lot of the people that I went to high school with already knew about my queer identity before I even came to the reunion. So it was great because I got to hang out with some of my old high school best friends and got to have fun with them and was drunk for like 3 days. But my high school reunion consisted of us going to a casino hotel pool and partying like our lives depended on it, with like cabana services and all that good stuff. So we had a really good time. So and everyone loved it and was completely comfortable and okay with it. So,
and you showed them pictures of me and told them about me.
Talked about my then boyfriend the entire time, and everything was fine. It was all good. So we're all good. Thank you guys. Congratulations. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Hey guys, this is Dawon Hawkins with Minoritea Report, and the question was asked, have you gone to your high school reunion? And I've been out of high school for now more than 20 years, and I have never gone to my reunion. I couldn't get away from those folks fast enough. I was excited to graduate and become my authentic gay self, and quite frankly didn't have any friendships that were really worth navigating those tumultuous years of self-discovery to want to circle back and like find out anything really about these high school folks that I'm no longer connected to. So hope this answers the question. I'm excited to see where everybody else lands.
Haha, that was great.
Good job. That was the best group, probably.
Yeah, for sure. Why is my mom so crazy?
I haven't listened to it yet, but I don't even need to.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow, that was weird, I assume.
So now can I ask my question?
Oh, sure. Yes.
Should we take a break?
Wait, I have an announcement. Hey, Mike, I have an announcement.
Oh, hey, Kyle.
Yeah, we can take a break.
Okay. I heretofore announce an announcement. Break.
Break.
Great.
Break.
This is the part where Mike and Kyle take a break.
200 episodes, Kyle. Are we still phoning it in? So are we back?
Yes.
We're back.
We're back. We're going to do our Gayest and Straightest.
We're going to do our Gayest and Straightest, but first.
But first. I wanted to clarify for the Patreon benefits. We've been starting to post some of those like random behind the scenes videos here and there and what have you.
Yeah.
We're going to keep doing that. But the
the beatings will continue until morale improves. Go ahead.
What?
I got drunk. I told you. Go ahead.
Cool. Okay.
Go ahead.
But the $25 is going to be the consistent weekly videos that we're going to give you of like us recording the content that you hear. So that's the just to.
Also, I think we forgot to say this in the main episode because it went on for so long. But my roommate is moving out, and when he does, I'm going to have an extra room, and we're going to turn that extra room into a studio.
Yeah.
And Gayish is going to be recorded from that studio instead of this dining room, starting about January 1st, give or take.
That's very exciting because especially for you because you don't have to like put up and take down all of the shit every single time.
Worst.
Like we record enough that it would be nice to just have it sitting out all the time and have a distinct space that like you don't have to turn your fridge off. Like it's just set up for recording.
Yep. And we also decided that whoever the current running lifetime donation total max winner guy dude.
Champion.
Not
necessarily dude, though.
Yeah, that's true. That gets to be the person that we name the studio after.
So it could change every week, or it's probably going to be one person for a long time until someone catches up. Yeah, so it's going to be like the whomever studio recording room.
Yep. So come January 1st, you can expect us to start saying that we were recorded from the blah, 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 blah studio.
Yeah. And I don't... maybe we'll like do the more formal who it is when that happens. But I mean, I think we would know who it would be right now if we'd see him.
Great. Neat.
Okay. But first,
our website is gayishpodcast.com.
We are at Gayish Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter,
YouTube.
YouTube.
Our hotline, you can send us text messages or leave us voicemails. It's 5855-GAYISH. That's 585-542-9474. Standard rates apply.
Our email is gayishpodcast@gmail.com.
And our physical mailing address is Post Office Box 19882, Seattle, Washington 98109, which I have to apologize because of Pennsylvania. I haven't left my home and barely have showered. So I haven't gone to the post office this week. So if you send something thinking we were going to get it for this episode, you were wrong.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Kyle.
It's your birthdays.
Oh, yeah.
It will have had... No, I don't need to do the time. It will have had been your birthdays by the time this episode goes.
No.
No. This is the episode before your birthdays happen, and the next...
This episode comes out on Dan's birthday.
Except for Patreon people.
That gift was for your birthday, too.
Thank you. I assume so.
Yeah, I definitely decided before this moment.
Yeah.
Why I mentioned that in proximity to the mailing address? Who would know? Maybe it's coincidence. But just throwing that out there. Happy early birthdays to both of you.
Thank you.
You deserve a text on the day of, which I'll happily provide you. Hey, Dan.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Dan.
Also happening this week.
Yeah.
That I wanted to mention. Where are my notes? The founder of Rain City Jacks, which is the jack-off club that Mike went to for episode 145, Paul Rosenberg, he started a podcast. It's called The Heart of Jacks. And he talks about the history and the culture of jack-off clubs. And I was a guest on the episode that just released, so you should go check it out. And if you're a patron, you've already heard a little bit of my stories of going there myself. If you're not, you'll get a little window into my visits to jerk-off clubs.
And thus, the ascension of Dan over and above our popularity begins, and and as does my jealousy. So cool. I'm happy about that. Probably. No, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad someone that knows shit about jerking off.
Find that boy for me.
Paul probably could. He also mentioned several times how much he enjoyed listening to how like not on board for jerk off clubs Kyle was during the main episode, but as soon as I started talking about Countdown, he's like, oh. He remembers that it's very fresh for him because he just found out that we did an episode about him and all that.
There's absolutely a part of that I think I would be very into if I wasn't so self-conscious.
It's a great space to get over self-consciousness because it's so varied bodies and body types and sizes and hairinesses and all the things.
Not during COVID. Cool.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Do you want to do our Gayest and Straightest?
Let's do our Gayest and Straightest. Would you like me to go first?
Sure.
Here I go.
Here you. Hey, Mike. I have an announcement.
Yeah.
You're going.
Okay. Fantastic.
Most unlistenable episode? You let us know.
Yeah. So the straightest thing about me this week, my roommate got bit by something laying on the floor doing stretches or whatever. And
insectish, just
insect
just
got bit by an insect,
okay.
And convinced himself that we had bed bugs. And I think it's a pretty straight response that I had, which was, until there's two of them, I don't care. Like, he found one and killed it. Until there's two, and like one is an isolated incident, two is a problem.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel about getting pumps on my scrotum.
Yeah, maybe they're just sebaceous cysts, Kyle.
You know,
that's the thing. The gayest thing about me this week.
It's not bed bugs. To potential suitors.
To potential suitors, it's not a bed bug. We sent a picture of its corpse to an entomologist who got back to us and said 99% sure it's not a bed bug at all. Which made sense because it was in the dining room and we have no beds in the dining room.
If you hook up with Mike, you will not get bed bugs, and that's a 99% guarantee.
Yep, a dude on the internet said 99% sure. Safe as fuck. Safe as fuck, so let's fuck. Okay, so the gayest thing about me this week, I forget how much I've alluded to this or talked about this, but Kyle has a documentary. I am covering an Alanis Morissette song for it. I've been working on it all weekend, and the pedal for my keyboard has a spring in it that is squeaky, and I could hear it on playback when I was pushing the pedal. So I got out my lube and I lubed up my pedal. I put silicone lube on my finger and I poked it in there and got that spring all lubed up. That's the gayest thing.
I feel like
me.
if you were straight, it would have been WD-40.
Yeah,
but if you're is lube the WD-40 of the gay world
of assholes? I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I decided for my Gayest and Straightest, given the theme, I was going to say the gayest and straightest things that I remember from high school. So, the straightest thing I actually already mentioned is that I dated bunches and bunches of girls. I remember coming out to my mom and her being like, but you dated girls. Like, you broke up with a girl and you called me crying about it.
Yeah.
And like, that was also something I had to like figure out for myself. So that was my straightest thing, dating girls. My gayest thing is I distinctly remember this moment where one of the more popular kids was sitting ahead of me, and like in that class we were like friends or friendly, and that was kind of I kind of was fine with any group. And I don't know how we were like joking around or something, and I like the chair the desk chair things like had a hole in the back. And so I put my knee through to knee him and kind of kneed like near his butt. And then he was like, oh, actually that felt kind of good. So then I'm teasing or whatever, like kneed him like in the butt, like, and just like almost like kind of in retrospect massaging, but I was like, pushed my knee into it. And I was like very turned on by the entire experience, but got to pretend like, oh, you liked it and we're playing and I'm teasing you or something. And I was just like putting stuff near your butt.
God, you're such a top.
And my knees so thick. Listeners?
Yeah, a listener's Gayest and Straightest. So this week it comes from our Facebook group. It is Christian Mickelson who offers us this. Gayest thing. Just finished listening to all the Gayish podcast episodes since discovering it in July.
Wow.
Which I don't know why people listen.
I sometimes say that, but then I have listened to hundreds of my brother, my brother, me in the past like year. So
it just like, I think that's like to do it since July is like a full-time job, which is COVID. And I get that, but that's quite the pace. Straightest thing about me this week was putting up insulation film on my windows to prepare for a Chicago winter.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just got out my anxiety blanket, so that's all I know how to do.
But my apartment is hot as fuck no matter what. Like, it's hot as fuck, even in January. So that's it. A special thank you to our Super Gab Bridgers?
Yes.
We have Super Gab Bridgers.
Thank you, to our new thing, Super Gap Bridgers, who have been contributing us for a while. And we want to, the two Super Gap Bridgers we have are Chris Sanders, my bud.
Chinbeard,
and Cian Hazen.
Yeah. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you to both of you.
And thank you to everybody who sent in questions and recorded reunion thoughts for us for our 200th episode. I can't believe we've made it this far, and
look how far we will have gotten and getting again.
Yep, exactly.
And thank you to you, Mike.
Thank you to you, Kyle, and maybe Dan.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll thank him at 300 because then he will have done 200. Yeah.
Will have had been.
Will have had done.
That's it. This has been 200 episodes of Gayish. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm sorry. I'm Kyle Getz. And we're here to bridge the gap between sections.
Until next week.
As our new t-shirt says, be butch, be fabulous, be you.
I love that Carly has started to chant podcast voice when I say things during D&D that sound like...
Wait, I haven't heard that. Why have I not?
She did it the last time.
Oh, did she?
Podcast voice. Like, just when I read something or when I'm about to explain something, I put on this like dad reading the newspaper voice that she's...